Hey yo, what up, what up, what up? It's Lamech here with selahsportsTV. Man, let's get right into it. We had that fight tonight, man. Teofimo Lopez, undisputed lightweight champion, right? Versus George Kambosos, his mandatory challenger. If I could sum this up in just a few words, I would do it like this. Don't cross the old man. Okay? Do not cross Bob Arum. Don't. And if you do, you better get the knockout. Okay? Ask Manny Pacquiao. Shit, you guys, Bud Crawford. I mean, he came away because he got that knockout over Sean Porter. But if he didn't knock out Sean Porter, that belt was going to stay over there, along with Sean Porter on ESPN. Top rank. Like, the only way out is to get the knockout. That's how you get out of Bob Arum's contracts, or his bad side in this case. But before I get all into that stuff, I just say I had this fight scored slightly differently. It was a good fight. Kambosos, he surprised me, man. He showed me. I mean, it's not really a surprise. I haven't seen a lot of his. I've only seen like two of his other fights. So, and I mean, his last fight, I thought he lost it. I thought he lost his last fight before this one. So in this fight, he had that jab working, man. Like, he looked real good. I had Kambosos up slightly early because he got that knockdown in the first round, right? But like, second round, I thought Teofimo won that round. I thought Kambosos came back and got the third, but I don't know, man. I don't know about this decision. I don't. I'm okay with it though, because it was a very close fight. Like, I had a few drinks, so me sitting home scoring is not the same as a judge. Hopefully, I would like to think that a judge has a better idea of scoring, and they probably do. So the judge probably got it right. I accept it, but this ain't the judge's YouTube channel. This is mine, so I'm gonna give you what I saw, and it looked like to me Teo won those late rounds. From round 8 to 11, I had him winning all those rounds. I had him winning, like I said, some of the early rounds. But I could see some of the early rounds going either way. But those late rounds, like 8 to 11, I thought Teofimo kind of dominated those rounds. Now Kambosos did come back in the 12th round. I thought he won it. I thought he won that 12th round. But Teofimo, he got that knockdown, and he was hitting this guy with big shots, and he wouldn't go. So, hey, props to George Kambosos, the new undisputed lightweight champion, right? This fight did remind me. I brought up the Pacquiao fight, right, and the Terrence Bud Crawford fight that he just had. And I do believe that had Bud not gotten that, if he didn't stop Porter, who had never been stopped before, if Bud didn't stop him, I don't think Bud gets the decision. Not necessarily because he's losing that fight. I thought he was winning the fight, right? But just politics. Just politics. I know how, I've seen how the old man works, right? The old man doesn't take shit lying down. Like, he's gonna pay you back if he feels like you didn't kiss the ring enough. He will come get you. This fight also reminds me of the Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman for a different reason. Just leading up to that fight, Thurman was just putting out so much. He was just putting out so much bad press, you know, like so many incendiary comments and, you know, just saying all the wrong things. Like, I get it, like he's trying to play the heel and trying to sell the fight, but the way he was doing it, it was really like by the time the fight started, every time Manny Pacquiao threw anything, like it didn't even have to land, he threw anything, the crowd is like going crazy, like because they were so against Keith Thurman. Like people, even today, like people despise Keith Thurman. Like I don't get it. Like I've seen people, you know, get on camera and wish death and say, oh yeah, I want to kill a man in the ring, and say all types of shit, but people, they don't hate them, they hate Keith Thurman, you know. Keith Thurman, he ain't really my cup of tea, but I just don't understand the hatred, you know. But back to my point, I'm doing a lot of digressing. Got a little headache. But yeah, like there's so much bad press leading up to the fight, and I think Teo kind of fell into that too. Like he's getting in everybody's face, he's constantly talking to Haney. Fuck talking to Devin. Why are you talking to him? Fuck all that talking to Devin Haney shit. Fuck all the interviews anyway. Like, why are you doing so many interviews? Dude, you got a fight, man. You got a fight coming up. Or you had a fight coming up. Like, a delayed fight. This fight was delayed. You know that you were rusty. I mean, I'm sure he was too, the other guy, but like, I would have liked a more toned down approach. Let's get this fight done, get it over with, and let me focus on beating this guy. Instead of doing the media rounds and being at all the fights and all the interviews, hopping up on stage with Canelo, like all that stuff got you a lot of bad press, dude. Like, kind of switch your shit up once you got the belts. And you can't, that's a lesson. I don't think he's finished at all by any stretch. Like, I think he's fine. I thought he won the fight. But, you know, lesson learned. It kind of also reminds me of, like, you've seen it before, like how certain entertainers, rappers, or maybe a comedian, or, you know, something like that, like they always, when people want you to, they trying to set you up, when these motherfuckers are trying to set you up, they'll do things to push your buttons. And once your buttons get pushed and you act out, right? Now they can put you on headline news. Oh, look at him, he's doing it again. Look at him, y'all. Look, that's how the media will set you up. Look at him, you know, he's doing it again. Look, listen to what he said. Listen to this incendiary tape. Listen to this bullshit that he's saying over here and over there. You know, look, put the camera on this guy. Watch him get out of this car and start spitting at the camera. Right? Things that are just going to make you look bad. Right? To everybody. And that's important, that they make you look bad to everybody. Right? Yeah, so you seen them like getting out of cars and spitting at the camera. Shit, it could be something as small as putting on a red hat that says "Make America Great Again," right? Something like that. In a society like this, a butthurt society like this, where people just easily triggered, like I see it now. Grown ass men, like in their 40s or pushing 40, like still get triggered over a red hat. And by triggered, I mean online, talking shit online. Because they don't say shit. They won't say, like, nothing to the person or approach the motherfucker, nothing like that, you know. Nah, they won't. They won't. They ain't gonna do shit but talk shit online, you know. But basically, something like that will have people hating you, right? And once enough people, once they get you looking bad enough, shit, it's your fair game now. They can screw you over in a fight. They can kill you, right? In a different scenario, like we've seen it happen. They can set you up to go to prison, anything, because now they've got inside everybody's hearts and minds and brought you down a few notches, right? If they'd have done it before, people wouldn't have accepted it. They'd say, wait, we like this guy. So they had to change that. They make everybody hate you, right? I've seen it happen. It's not just a sports thing. But back to the fight. Kambosos, solid jab, man. That was he got a nice jab, nice power jab, man. And he was switching it up. I saw him flick it a couple times. He flicked it out there a couple times, but he got a nice power jab. For a welterweight, that's a good jab. That's a good jab. He kept touching Teofimo Lopez with the jab. He was throwing the jab. He was hooking off the jab. He was throwing the jab and throwing uppercuts off the jab and touching him with it. Like, very skilled stuff. Very good, very good stuff. His power was good. Not great, but I thought he had good power. He caught Teofimo with the hook and dropped him. But most of all, I like Kambosos, his movement, his feet. He has very good feet in the ring. His movement was excellent. And that's something that you have to have. If you're gonna use your jab, your feet have to be as good as your jab, pretty much. Like, your feet have to be good to keep a guy out. If that's your plan, to keep a guy out like that, you better be good on your feet. And he was. Like, he was very good on his feet tonight. So, as for Teofimo, I think he could use an extra trainer in his corner. Maybe a defensive trainer, somebody who's going to work on his defense. I think he takes too many punches that he shouldn't. We saw it in the Lomachenko fight, but I didn't really say too much because we know that's Lomachenko, and he has some very unorthodox tactics. He was headbutting, and he was, that's Loma. So, but that's different. But yesterday, actually, I thought, I don't know. I just think he needs to add another head in that corner. Maybe a defensive guru. Somebody's going to have him working on defense, right? I'm no trainer, right? But just from what I know and from what I've experienced myself, like, when you're fighting a rangier guy than you, a taller, rangier guy than you, like, the shoulder roll stuff, leave that, okay? Like, the shoulder roll, I don't think that's something you should use when you're going against a taller guy. He should have really learned that from the Nakatani fight. The shoulder roll, you don't use that with a guy who can touch you from the outside. It just doesn't make sense. Your head movement isn't that good. It's decent, but it ain't that good. Like, use the shoulder roll for guys your size or shorter. Taller guys, no shoulder roll, right? And I know a bunch of people are probably saying, well, what about Floyd? What about Floyd? Floyd used it. Floyd. The difference with Floyd is he had freakishly long fucking arms. So even though he was shorter, it was it's like he really wasn't, because in boxing, it's about reach. So if you have long arms, that's almost like being a taller guy. Now, you're not punching down, so it's not quite the same as being a taller guy, but reach-wise, Floyd could use the shoulder roll because his arms were long as hell, right? That's kind of like me. Like, I'm 6'1", but my arms are long as shit. Like, you might think you're out of range, but you're probably not. And that's why his pull counters and all that shit worked. He worked with his natural ability. Teofimo Lopez's arms are not as long as Floyd's. Not even close. Right? So for him to do that. Like I'd rather see him use a different guard. You know, I'd rather see him use a different guard. Something else I want to touch on. I mean, the fight just ended not too long ago, but I'm already like seeing like these YouTubers, like they ride on fanboys every day. Every day they on their channel riding on, and I know because I'm a subscriber of these channels, right? I like these channels, but just pointing out a little inconsistency that I see. They ride on these fanboys every day, and then after every fight, these guys, the YouTubers, can't wait to get on YouTube and look, hey, this fighter lost, and that is that being a fan of the sport? Like, why? I don't know. It's like they can't wait to start gloating and taunting the losing fighter, the fighter that lost. Like, to me, that's not being a fan of the sport. It's definitely not respecting the sport. And call me crazy, but it seems like you guys' emotions are really invested. How are you not fanboys? Oh, because you're like, because it's like negative energy. Like you're not supporting, you're not being a fan. It's not positive energy. You're giving negative energy, like taunting and trolling and gloating and like making fun of the fighter that lost, his fans and all that shit. All right, you might not be a fanboy. You're a fucking stanboy though, right? Let's cut that shit out. No more stanboying, all right? Keep your emotions out of it. It's a good fight. I thought Teofimo won. He lost. They didn't give it to him. Hey, this is how we break the Floyd Mayweather curse. I like Floyd, all right? But he did lay somewhat of a curse on boxing with that, everybody thinking that they're supposed to go undefeated. Like, this is how we break that, by not feeding too much into it. Like, let's be men, right? Also, if you were riding on YouTube like for the past year, talking about Teofimo he's not undisputed. Look, he's not undisputed. This person said he's not. This person said he's not undisputed. You know, that's kind of like a bitch move to say today Kambosos is undisputed. Like, you've been saying that Teofimo wasn't undisputed all this time. Now as soon as he loses, the guy that beats him is undisputed. Cut that shit out, man. Y'all acting like hoes, man, for real. And I'm saying that with as much respect as I can. You know, I'm not angry about it. It's just it don't make you look good. That's all. Cut that shit out. Hit the like button though before you do that. All right. Peace.